Do you know why we use this in Singapore? It's due to something you likely did not expect. So, by now, you should know that when you travel, the very first thing you pack into your luggage will be this, a travel adapter. Why do we use this while other countries use other plugs? Before that, you need to know what this is. There's a name for our plug. It's called the Type G plug. It has 3 rectangular pins, 1 big earth pin on top and 2 smaller ones below. Voltage is 230 volts at 50 Hz. And here's the thing, despite it being chunky, this plug is actually one of the safest plug designs in the world. It's because it has a fuse inside, shutters on the live and neutral holes so kids cannot stick fork inside. And the plug pins are insulated halfway down so you cannot accidentally touch them when plugging in. So why do we use this? Is it because we are crazy about safety? Well, no. Once again, it's due to these two words, British colonial. The Type G plug was officially introduced in 1947 in post-war Britain. You see, after World War II, Britain was rebuilding everything, like houses, factories and whatnot. But there was a problem. Copper was super short supply. And to wire up a whole country, you need a lot of copper. So British engineers came up with a clever solution, the ring circuit. Basically wire all the sockets in one big loop instead of separate knives, which used way less copper. But to make this safe, every single plug had to have its own fuse inside. That's why our Type G plug has that small cartridge fuse you can see if you unscrew it. The British rolled this out across all their colonies, including Malaysia, which is why we are using the same plug. And when Singapore and Malaysia and other British colonies became independent, we just kept using it. I mean, hundreds of thousands of buildings are wired this way. Changing it will take forever. And of course, given how British collect colonies and how they collected Pokemon in the past, there are a few regions with the same plug. For example, regions like the UK, Ireland, Malaysia, Brunei, Hong Kong, and others still use Type G. However, there are some British colonies that use another type, the Type D instead, like India or Pakistan. It's because Type D is the older British standard, the one used before Type G came in. For example, Indian got their wiring done before 1947 and did not change. So basically, the plug map is not a perfect colonial map. It's more like a messy electrical family tree. Some places kept the older British round pin system, while others moved to the newer British square pin Type G system. Once building, appliances and safety rules are built around one system, changing everything become very expensive and troublesome. And yes, most countries have different plugs for the same reason. Because before World War II, there were just a few empires that colonized our planet, and the British is one of them. But it's a little messy for other regions. But agak-agak, this is the main reason. It's all due to history. Now, to the obvious question, why not just standardize the whole world? If you are looking to advertise your business in this channel, we can help you. There are guaranteed views and many big brands have trusted us. Just click on the link in the description. You see, people have tried and failed. Back in 1986, the International Electrotechnical Commission published a standard called IEC 60906-1. It's supposed to be the universal global plug. It has a compact 3-pin design with 230 volts, but only South Africa and Paraguay kind of use it properly. So yeah, getting countries all over the world to agree on one thing is as difficult as getting everyone in Singapore to agree on whether black Chao Kueh is better or white Chao Kueh is better. Ayo, you're bodo, why not just eat yang yang? In 2017, the EU did a big study whether to harmonize plugs across Europe. The conclusion is pointless. Existing systems are already reasonably safe, so harmonization will cause a bomb and cause unnecessary e-waste. And here's the killer example, Japan. You see, it's impossible to make a change within a country too. Japan has 2 different electrical frequencies inside one country. Tokyo runs on 50 Hz and Osaka runs on 60 Hz. Why? Because in 1895, Tokyo bought generators from Germany which produce 50 Hz. Around the same time, Osaka brought from America which produce 60 Hz. They've had this split for 130 years and still haven't unified, because it seems as too expensive and too difficult. So if Japan cannot standardize within one country, within the whole world can meh? But here's the thing, something else is happening, and yes, it's related to your phone. In October 2022, the EU passed a common charger directive forcing almost every electronic device sold in Europe to use USB-C for charging. It came into effect on 28 December 2024, covering phones, tablets, cameras, headphones, game consoles, the words are. Laptops follow from April 2026. This is why Apple switched from the expensive lightning cable to USB-C on the iPhone. They fought it for years, then gave in. If not, you think Apple will willingly give out the chance to slap a fancy name on a cable and charge you premium? You see, what happened is that USB-C is now becoming the global default for low-power devices. So the plug in the wall still differs from country to country, but the cables that goes into your device is increasingly similar. The universal charger problem is being solved from the device side, not from the wall side. To know more about why Europe is forcing everyone to use USB-C, watch this. Also, if you want to advertise with us, even as a standalone video, do contact us. Our website is in the description, or you can scan this QR code. Thank you for spending almost 5 minutes with me. I really appreciate it and hope you learned something.